Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal, PeaceLoveMusic. Feeling old. Coming at you with another episode of the Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our good friends over at BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Tuesday morning, the 4th of February. Things are a little less chaotic in the market. Still a little bit down, but feeling less out than maybe some people were feeling yesterday. I'm feeling good about it. I think it's probably a good time to have taken some opportunities, done a little bit of shopping on the lows if you had some dry powder, and now it's time to be patient, see what happens with the market. Friendly reminder, this is a news show. We are providing news and information only. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research and never invest money you cannot afford to lose. With that being said, Bitcoin's looking solid, bouncing off of a low of a 92K yesterday, did touch back over 100K, settling in at 99,587 just before broadcast. Stacks up, back up over $1. Great to see that. Coming in at 103 this morning, moving up to the number 59 spot by market cap on CoinMarketCap. Fear and Greed Index up from the fear range up to 45, solidly into the neutral territory. And the top three gainers on CoinMarketCap for the past 24 hours are Radium, that's an exchange on Solana, Melania token, that's a meme token on Solana, and BitTensor token are the top three gainers on CoinMarketCap over the past 24 hours. Hermetica yield on USDH at 20%, total value locked up to 4.81 million. Have you checked out Bitflow's automated buying feature? With Bitflow Keepers, you can set it, forget it, and go touch grass with your Keepers contracts, handling your trades and balancing your portfolio. RuneMine, the Mine token IDO, launching soon on Alex. The team had to adjust the February 3rd launch. That was yesterday for this project, which is creating infrastructure for meme coins. And we will update you as soon as we have more information on a target date, ASAP. That should be coming soon. There were just some technical details that they had to sort out before they launched yesterday. Velar perp trading is coming soon. I can almost taste it. We're very close to getting that launched. Hashtag return to ape. Also, don't miss the guide to launching self-deployed liquidity pools on Velar. Zest is offering 7.28% yield on SBTC, and their highest yield today is 23.53% on USDH. Today's rates at Stacking DAO are 7.88% yield on liquid STSTX, or you can receive that yield in native BTC at 7.56%, and now 7.41% on yields with SBTC with their latest STX BTC token. The top three Stacks token performers on Velar the past 24 hours are Stone, Rue, and Nasty token. My friends, when you stack your stacks, you earn yield in Bitcoin. Simple, easy. You hold stacks. You got to have at least 100 stacks. It'll cost you about $100. I think the yield on stacking, I haven't looked at it in a while. I think it's around 8% based on what everyone else is given on different products there. You're an 8% yield on your stacks. It's really low right now, so you should have some upside on equity gain too, not financial advice. And you're helping secure the network. When you stack your stacks and you earn yield, the yield you earn is paid to you directly into your wallet as Bitcoin. It's the best deal in town. Nothing better. You're on Bitcoin, you got Bitcoin finality, and you earn Bitcoin by securing the network and holding the asset for the ecosystem. It's a great paradigm, actually. More people need to take advantage of that, in my non-financial advisor opinion. Sometimes I refer to myself as just a jack-off realtor. which is probably more accurate. What are the top 3 crypto that you'll hodl? I hate that term. What'll you hold regardless of the bear market? Drop them in the live chat. The organized calendar for the day. We have, as always, Monday through Friday, our show. We're running 8:30 to 9:30 every Monday through Friday. We do bring you the news, all the news we can come up with in the wee hours of the morning, just before we go to news. We also have Stacks Weekly with Melanie Carstens, aka Good Kitty. That's at noon Eastern time today. I believe Reese is co-hosting with Kitty on that show, and they're going to be talking about governance and stuff. So I'm really interested in that show. Also, we have the Clarity. We're actually going to do something a little bit different today. The Clarity Working Group is meeting every 2 weeks, and it's actually hosted by Jesus, Set Zeus, and Gary Reiger has been participating. He kind of merged in with his Zero to Clarity group and started, I believe it's bi-weekly. We're going to join their Google Meet, and I'm going to share my stream in my screen in the live stream so we can cover the Clarity Working Group meeting today. And we're going to try to do that regularly. That's at 9 a.m. So you can catch that live, or you can actually go find the link and participate in the Google Meet. And if you're interested in learning more about Clarity coding, that's a great place to start. Then we have Find to Earn at 9:30, or right after that group, that the working group call ends. We're going to do an episode of Find to Earn, although I got to coordinate with Xenitron. We might have to push it into running 2 games tomorrow, depending on what his availability is. So we will update that as we get through the show today. And on to the news. Michael Saylor says Senator Cynthia Lummis's bill could help offset the proposed bill for a strategic Bitcoin reserve could help offset $16 trillion of U.S. debt. Coinbase urges U.S. regulators to remove barriers for banks to trade custody and outsource crypto services. China announces 10 to 15% tariffs on U.S. oil, agricultural machinery, coal, and liquefied natural gas right after Trump's tariffs on the country take effect. Recent tariff wars with Canada and Mexico caused the crypto markets to dump, with Bitcoin dipping to 92K before rebounding to around $100,000. Analysts still eye new all-time highs for BTC. Pump.Fund's monthly revenue hit a record of $121 million in January, surpassing Ethereum for the first time. Trump's appointed Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, says every time Bitcoin dips, I'm going to be the buyer. As long as I have some cash on hand, I also will be there with you. Howard. Canadian Stock Exchange listed firm Sol Strategies. So that's a stock exchange listed firm. Sol Strategies, kind of like MicroStrategies. They've acquired 21,200 Solana, bringing total holdings to 189,968 Solana, valued at 63.7 million Canadian dollars. Just Canadian dollars. They say it in that, so it sounds more, I think. The U.S. Treasury has been sued for allegedly breaking federal laws by giving Elon Musk's Doge enforcers access to sensitive financial and personal information. Because we all know the government doesn't have access to our sensitive financial and personal information. Until now. 52% of Ethereum validators are in favor of increasing the gas limit, For transactions on the Ethereum blockchain, the community has been debating whether to increase the gas limit, with some saying it would reduce fees, while others were worried it could destabilize the network if raised too high. ETF flows, around 2,400 BTC were sold and 29,150 ETH were bought on February 3rd. BTC ETF saw 234 million in net outflows. Ethereum saw $83.6 million in net inflows as the price crashed. The ETFs were buying. Don't get shook out. I don't care what you hold. Now is not the time to lose faith, my friends. Friendly, non-financial advice. Do you have a .btc name? You can get one now over at bns.one. They've announced a number of platform enhancements for user interface, listing marketplace enhancements, and more. Head on over to bns.one to get your own .btc, .stx, or other BNS digital ID now. It's a great way to show solidarity and more functionality to come on those, I would expect. Have you checked out Zero Authority bounties lately? There is currently a stacking DAO bounty where you can win up to 20 STX BTC. That's the liquid staked stacks product that earns yield in SBTC. You can head over to zeroauthority.xyz, go to bounties, follow the directions to participate for a total prize pool of 100 STX BTC. Now over at Zero Authority. By now, you've all heard about what's going on over at aibtc.dev. They've created a platform where you can create your own team of AI agents to deploy on Web3. They have a wallet. They can make trades on your behalf based on what you tell them to do. And now you can actually prompt an AI DAO into existence through their prompt to DAO handle over on X. So you tweet or post on X at prompt to DAO and tell it what you want the AI to do, to be focused on, and it does it all for you. It creates the DAO with the AI agents to run the DAO, and then it creates a token, launches that token on fact.fun, and the agents work on with the token to achieve whatever parameters and goals you set for the DAO to focus on. It's really interesting. And the token, there's a ton of tokens trading now on the bonding curve in fact.fun. Head over to fact.fun now. There's also a bunch of bonding curve tokens listed over there that the community has made. So check them out too, and support your friends in the community that are putting work in, trying to figure how to innovate. Fine to earn. We're doing every morning on the morning show, so long as Xenitron's available. Starting yesterday, we had a great turnout. Great show again. We love doing it. If you do like playing with the Fine to Earn, let us know in the comments. It seems like it's a really fun time. People are definitely turning out for it, so we're going to keep doing it. But we'd love to hear back any feedback or any ideas of how we should do it, or what you'd like to see implemented in how we do it. It's always welcome. If you're looking to get started as a developer with Stacks, you can head on over to stacks.co, and over at the top right hand side it says get started, and that'll bring you to a page with all of the tools. You can access a bunch of developer tools, a bunch of other tools in the space that are aimed at helping people building on Stacks, learning Clarity coding, and then you can learn the basics, build a full app, and even find ways to get paid to build an app over on stacks.co. And if you are building on Stacks and looking for testers, we have a working group, testers that are here to help poke around when you're in testnet. You need some feedback or some usage, you can absolutely DM me at PeaceLoveMusicG, and we'll get you into that group and get them working on your project. And if you're interested in helping test out projects in the space, DM me and we'll get you into that group as well. It's actually a great way to learn how to do some new stuff in the space. Also, Stacks Sip and Innovation Community Call every Friday at 11 a.m. with Hero Gamer and the Stacks Foundation. Come learn about the latest developments on the Stack chain and give us your input on what you would like to see built on Stacks. That's actually a huge part of it. We're looking to get as much community engagement as possible. So come out, listen, pay attention, learn some stuff about what's being developed, and then grab a mic, come on up and chat with us. We really want as much participation in that process as we can possibly get. Oh, lots of people saying hi. Good morning, Crypt Titty. How are you today? GP back in the wings. I know my brother. What's up? What's up? Cartel Paula specializes in logo design. It's great to know. Oh, I'm going to bring on our friends. I really am excited to actually talk to GP and Nick, but I want to talk a little bit with GP about the. I hear that there was this live debate between XRP and Bitcoin yesterday on one of Blockface's spaces on X, and I heard it got a little spicy. What was your experience there, GP?
Yeah, man. Good morning. It was an awesome experience getting to see like Landy debate with the XRPers versus the Bitcoin debate, right? And it was interesting, very entertaining. It felt like a very circular argument on the XRPer side. So it was one of those things, right? Learning moment. Had a couple of laughs. Yes, raging. It was good.
Never a dull moment with XRP community.
You know, I've actually chatted with those guys. I got into a space with Michael and those guys, and it was just me. I was the only guy that was pro Bitcoin. Michael tends to sit back and moderate, by the way, in those situations. He's not really pro or con, which is fine. Actually usually get a better conversation when you have someone who is in the middle to balance things. But it was I've had some interesting conversations with some of those guys. I don't fault anyone for supporting any project, you know, and I know there are some smart people that I know that are very supportive of what's going on XRP specifically. So there's two groups actually. The Easy A guys, Phil and Dom, are very, very. I mean, they support almost every blockchain network. They love developing and all that stuff, but they're bullish on XRPs, and they definitely are someone who I take their opinion at value. They're super smart dudes, and they're building some really great stuff. But my experience talking with the group that you guys talked with is that those guys generally are very insecure about the existence of Bitcoin at all. And that suggests to me that they're not so secure that what they have is all that as measured against Bitcoin.
Actually, my brother is a huge XRP fan. Has a large bag.
He's a smart guy.
Very, very happy. So, you know, if you're just in it for financial gains, I think XRP will do pretty well. Probably not, as well as Jack Binswitch with $100 million gazillion dollars.
We do have XRP on Stacks. That's actually so that was what I told those guys. I didn't tell them what it meant. I was just telling them we actually have XRP on Stacks. You guys should check it out when I talk to them.
But they I think the XRP ledger is pretty solid. You know, as a technology, XRP itself, I don't know. But I think, there's an argument to be made that sort of legacy banking system, and they're sort of, they come out of the legacy banking system, right? Brett Garlinghouse is like an basically an ex-banker, if you want to put it like that. So they got all those connections. They got connections with all the central banks. They have been putting a lot of money into making deals all over the world with big banks. And the legacy system has all the incentive to use some kind of coin in order to keep themselves relevant in the age of Bitcoin and decentralization, right? So it's sort of like a middle a transition phase. Let's call it a transition phase. So as long as the transition phase is still there, these people will use stuff like XRP or the
Onyx is it? That's JP Morgan.
Yeah, that's yeah.
JPM.
Yeah. The interbank crap coin. But
it's doing well. I know some people that have been shouting it out. I haven't gotten into it because I just haven't had the time to look at it. And I was like, because I'm doing this every day and I have to get the numbers every day and I'm looking at the top 3 gainers every day. I spend a lot of time looking at just the broader market. So I see these things. Like I saw virtuals coming and I've seen like one of the only coins that didn't completely crash on Monday was the Mantra token, which I don't know anything about except for I see it regularly, and it's actually like way up from when I first started doing the show. So I see these all the time, and Onyx is one of them. That's OCN, right? Onyx.
Yeah. I actually also got a little bag of Mantra, like OM. Yeah.
I don't have any of it because I haven't had enough time to look at it, and now I don't. Now it's so high. I'm like, I probably missed it, which is.
I think it's still
right. It's not always the best way to look at it.
But did you see
over $3?
Did you see this news? I mean, we were just talking about it before going live. I'll just pull it up. But El Salvador abandoned Bitcoin as legal tender, but it's like a kind of misleading header, right? Because they're actually keeping it as legal tender, but they won't. What they're gonna remove is currency. They won't use it. You're not.
Yeah, it's like
to use it as currency.
Words like they're removing it from being. We just read this a little bit earlier, so I haven't had much time to like look into it. But what I understand about it is they're just kind of playing word games, where they're switching from being called legal currency to legal tender. But even though there's implications with the term legal tender that suggests you have to accept it if people want to pay you with it and they owe you money, that's actually something that's being changed in the law so that people don't have to accept it as payment.
True. And if you sort of browse through the article, it actually says that 8% of the El Salvadorians actually did use it as currency and legal tender. So that's, I think, pretty high despite all the technical barriers and the monetary and financial issues by using Bitcoin. It goes up and down. So I think that's actually pretty positive. But when you sort of read this article, and especially the first 3 sentences, it's like extremely negative. And the reason why I brought it up was, this feeds into, the XRP community, right? So the XRP people are saying like, so see, it doesn't work. What do you need? XRP, right? They love this kind of stuff.
So I can't believe it's already. I'm a little slow this morning. I can't believe it's already time. I gotta jump into. We're trying something new today, so I'm jumping into the Google Meet. We're gonna see if I can actually join 2 streams or share my stream live. Might not be able to share my camera. If I turn off my camera, maybe.
I'd usually use it for 1 app at a time, right?
Well, we're just waiting for Gary to let me in now. Oh.
But I think it would go a little bit far to call El Salvador a failed experiment. I mean, for God's sake, they're mining Bitcoin with their volcano, right? What more do you want?
Right? Yeah, I know. It's right. Also, that's great anyway.
The United States has pledged to assist El Salvador in developing nuclear energy too.
Awesome.
That's a headline.
This seems to be working.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Just so you know, we are live streaming. I'm sharing my stream, and it looks like it's working on 2 different apps at the same time. So this is cool stuff. We're cutting edge this morning.
That's awesome. So we're live now.
Love to hear it.
We are live. How are you guys today?
Very good. Very good. I think we're just waiting for a few folks and we'll get started.
Excellent. I'm going to leave my mic off so we can talk about you in the live stream.
Perfect.
How's the audio for you guys, Nick and GP?
Good.
Excellent. This is cool.
Very good.
That's working. It's pretty cool.
Well, I know you can get. So I know on Restream we can get.
There he is.
I know on Restream we can get the like the stream key. I'm not sure if we can do it from Google Meets. I know we can get it from Zoom Meet.
All right, look at everyone. 1 more minute, and we'll start at 9:03. What's going on?
This is going to be really interesting. I've participated in these meetings before, and it's really just kind of a round table.
Damn, Hugo said
These guys
no.
These guys talk about, they're talking shop about what's going on in Clarity, and I think it's really a good opportunity for our audience to get exposure to this. Good morning, nobody famous.
Yeah,
There it
absolutely.
I have a new laptop since last time, so I needed to.
So just to explain,
enable
he's
screen
late.
sharing.
Nobody. We got.
It's my only Google Meet
I'm
meeting.
actually streaming the
All right, I remember last time
working
we had some
group
trouble.
meeting
Yeah.
live. We're paying it. They're gonna start their meeting shortly. And we're gonna kind of just see what's going on.
Okay,
Clarity.
I'm gonna go ahead and kick off. Before I do though, I am curious about how many weeks have we been doing this for? When did this start? Okay, October 19, 2023. Wow. So we've been having Clarity Working Group meetings since October 19, 2023. At one point it was weekly, now it's bi-weekly, but it's pretty well how time flies like that. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share today's presentation for you guys. February 4th. We're going to have 4 items on the schedule. 2 of them are really, really quick. We're bringing back a guest speaker, and actually Hugo reached out at the perfect time to me and let me know he actually has something from Clarinet that he wants to demo and ask for feedback on. And then, of course, Gary's going to take over for the majority of this session, which is obviously the Zero to Clarity course. So kicking off, SBTC, there's not much to update you guys on the Clarity end from SBTC. The protocol itself hasn't changed. There is no changes slated to any of the protocol contracts at the moment, thankfully. All right, fingers crossed that stays that way. And it seems like withdrawals are still scheduled for Q1. So if anyone does have any questions about SPTC, again, from the Clarity point of view, I'm pretty well versed in it. So please feel free to reach out if you're a team working with it, etc. Let me know. Okay, next, a few people have asked me about Orange Chats now that we've gotten it a lot more formalized. Those of you who haven't seen the link, it's going to be under orangechats.bitcoinl2labs.com, which should be live tomorrow. And once that's done, this is what the schedule is going to look like for this next cohort. So for the next basically week, applications have been open, but I'm going to keep them open for more. There's already been a few protocols and a few auditors who have applied. I think there's been a lot more protocols than auditors. So if you are curious to get a part-time gig doing some defense or auditing work, please let me know. Or if you know someone who might be good at it, please let me know. We're going to onboard the next week, which is basically just having them go through a standard operating procedure that I've written up, let them know the expectations, common issues, etc. And then obviously the 2 audits. So the auditing process itself for the second cohort is going to run from February 26th to May 25th. And all this information is going to be reflected on the Orange Chats website, which again, if you haven't visited, it's here for now, but it is going to be on bitcoinl2labs.com later.
That's very cool.
And yeah, shout out to everyone who's contributed to all the audits that we have. It is cool to see that as an ecosystem, we've had a lot of work done, especially across all the different teams.
So look at that. There's this huge group.
Okay, so with that
staff
done, that's actually short, sweet, and simple. My ecosystem updates for this second part. I'm going to turn it over to Hugo, who's going to demo some clarinet items, and then to Gary for Zero to Clarity. So, Hugo, can you screen share?
Yes. All right. Can you see my screen?
We
Yeah,
can.
this is dope with the devs working.
Yeah, thanks for having me last minute.
They-
Jesus. Sorry for not.
Sorry, Hugo, can you just zoom it in a bit?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
zoom in. There we go.
So let's talk about this new feature that I've been working on in Clarinet. It's actually not fully available yet, but it's available on NPM with the beta version. So let me walk you through it. First of all, you will notice that I'm requiring the Clarinet SDK, but a beta version. But this is all in the README of this project, and I will share the link after. With this, I can enable remote data fetching. So with remote data fetching, I basically tell the SIMnet that I want to fork the mainnet. So I want to use mainnet data in my SIMnet usage. So it has a lot of applications to that, a lot of use cases. One of them is to run unit tests against real-world data. So it's especially complicated when we want to test contracts that are built on top of complex DeFi protocols, for example, such as Peace or SBTC or Alex or whatever. As soon as you get a lot of data, it gets complicated to get the signatures, the fixtures, and everything set up correctly. So it's usually easier to work with mainnet data directly. So once I have it, so I just say that I want to enable remote data and I want to fork mainnet. I could use testnet data by changing the URL, but let's stick to mainnet for now. And I say, okay, I want to fork mainnet from this height. It allows me to have consistent data so that it's predictable in the unit tests. I have a very simple contract that basically does some contract call to Peace or SBTC. Sorry, it's maybe a bit too big, but it should work. So if I run npm test, we won't see much. We just see that it's a bit slower than it usually is. That's because we are fetching a bit of data, and we are not fetching that much data actually, but it's happening like we are fetching all of the data points one by one, so it's a bit slow, but it does work. So here, if I show you the unit test, I basically can check that the price of SBTC according to Peace is, so here I call Peace storage. I pass in the hash that correspond to the BTC USD pair, and I can check that the value is this price. So what really makes it great here is that I don't have to set up any fixtures or to populate SIMnet with any data. I can just use
can't hear you on this like the
net
stream.
address of a contract and
Watch
call
on the
it.
stream can hear
I will
it,
get
but,
the
as in the class.
data from that.
You have any idea what's going on?
It's only available in the SDK right now,
not
but it will
quite
be
sure
in
what
CLI
his-
as well. So
Something about
I have it
forking
locally, but it's not published yet.
mainnet,
It's very
but I'm not. I
on
don't
the
quite
console.
understand now. The first thing
bigger.
we're talking about is that they're actually looking.
I can
really
do it
interesting.
as well.
The
Maybe
orange
it's
hats are looking for
the right
people that are looking for jobs
option.
auditing on contracts.
Um,
It's looking for
Get SBTC total USD value.
Zoom Clarity auditing.
It will call this contract.
You reach out to
And here I'm calling my contract that calls
tap.
another contract, but I could also just call directly the SBTC or Peace contract. So here I'm calling both of them actually.
You can hear me.
And another
can't hear
cool
us.
thing that I can demo is
I'm
that it's
also-
available also in the playground. So
I'm
if you want
in
to try it very easily,
Full stream. So I'm
where you can
they're
go
meeting
to
Oh.
play.ero.so. Sorry, I will share the URL in the chat. But
so they can't hear us,
I'll make this bigger.
but our live.
But if you go to this URL with remote data equal true, it will basically
But yeah,
enable
I
it
just
this
looks like
wanted
feature in the
to
playground. So I have the same contract here.
say that again,
I
Mike.
can directly call
Gather.
the SBTC
He's
contract, for
using
instance. So here
like
I'm
a
calling
live version
SBTC
or a
token, get
mirrored
total
version
supply,
of
I can
net.
turn on the
testing.
network tab so you see what's happening.
He's
But
using
here
a
we are
live.
fetching like all of the metadata and the data from the MARC tree for the
I'm not.
from the
I'm not
Merkle tree
entirely sure what
of the Clarity VM.
what
Can
he's
you turn
doing.
down the
And
main
I will
volume?
get the actual value here.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
can actually simulate any transaction before running it
And,
on the SIMnet.
There you
and
go.
here I can
Have you
basically
ever
do the
seen
same
this
stuff
before?
that I just demoed.
Like
It's
he's
the
doing?
same contract.
I've participated
So I will
in
stop
Gary's,
sharing now. I'll share some of the URLs
which is so I know
in the
what
chat.
that's just your
But yeah,
server
as I said, the applications
or
are
whatever. That's Clarity.
multiple. It's useful for unit testing.
Familiar with that.
It's useful
And
for
after this,
simulating a transaction. So
gonna
basically, if you want
segue
to
into
simulate a
Clarity
transaction and make sure that
Clarity.
it will succeed before actually broadcasting it to mainnet, we can do that. And we can also get the exact cost of the transaction by simulating it. So that's really great.
Yeah.
There are a lot of applications, and this is really just the foundation. Like we have the features enabled in the SIMnet. You can create programmatically. You just do simnet.init session and
Yeah, I knew
enable
that.
remote data,
DeOrganized.
and you will have a SIMnet
Yeah,
session
yeah,
in
DeOrganized.
JavaScript that
Well,
can
on va
fetch data
foquer
from
le
mainnet or
stack
testnet.
blockchain.
So this should be very useful, and I
Our
think
French
that
listeners.
the next steps would be to build more applications on top of that, maybe in the Explorer or in the Hero platform, or even
It's actually really
in
cool
any
that I
third-party tools.
can share just share a Google meeting.
And there is still a bit
Yeah,
of
now I
work
can, like,
remaining, but
actually
we will release that this
our
week.
meeting
If everything goes well, there is still a
there.
big PR to
Got a
be reviewed.
conversation going. They don't even know.
And then I will work on performance
Right.
optimization. There is a lot to do there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Yeah, Nikos.
Nice.
Yeah, this is very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Could we use our own packets for the tests? So say, could we have Rendezvous run tests through this environment? Would that be doable?
Yeah, definitely. So for Rendezvous, I think you call init session directly. So Rendezvous will parse the clarinet.toml. So if in your clarinet.toml you have this feature enabled, like I just showed, it will automatically fetch the data from mainnet. And it kind of, so as long as it doesn't know the stack's address, and especially in the context of SIPnet, if it starts with SP and not ST, for example, but it's not actually how it's implemented. But basically, when the SIMnet doesn't have a data, it will try to fetch it from the URL you set in the settings. So by default, from mainnet.
Exciting.
It's actually pretty easy to use. It doesn't change much from the user perspective.
This is actually
Except if you had,
a
like I know that the
very
Peace
spicy.
repository that
Yeah.
is now maintained by Trust Machine.
Devs call it saying
I know it's
exciting.
really complicated to unit test because
this is very upbeat for them.
the way Peace works is that you have
In case you guys didn't know.
to sign a data structure with like 13 or 15 signatures just to populate the data. So it's really annoying to do and it's slow. Here it's actually faster to directly fetch the data from a specific height and you will always get the same values. And then you can even use add block in your test and fetch data from any block before the one you forked. So it really gives access to a lot of data from the CNET.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, did you have links to share or no?
Yeah. I mean,
And Bowtie has a question.
From what I remember, the Clarinet OML allows you to use both testnet and mainnet addresses for the requirements, right? So how is that handled for the moment? So up to this point, from my understanding is that it gets only the source code of the contract in place and it resolves the requirements. But right now, if you enable this feature, you'll be able to use only mainnet code or not?
No, you can use both. So you can specify the network address that you want to use, so mainnet or testnet. Actually, the two features are distinct for now. So if your requirements are not exactly describing the contract you are actually using, like Clarinet check will fail, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to actually start a session. But ideally, you want to make sure that your requirements are well set. But in the future, I want to actually get rid of requirements because we know, like whenever you call a contract,
Chip,
in
can I
your
ask some questions?
local contract, we know that this
Gonna make
is a
this
requirement, so we could directly fetch it without you having to manually add it to the Clarinet.toml. But yeah, for now, I recommend to always use mainnet, both for requirement and this new feature.
Chirp was actually in.
But if you have to, you
Spaces
can use
last
mainnet.
night.
You just have to make sure that all of the contracts you are calling are existing
Chip
and
was in
are
the
set
space.
in your requirements.
Was he in the XRP space?
Thank you very much. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, it was.
It was
It was
very
good times.
entertaining.
Awesome. Gary, do you want to take it over?
Sure thing. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Will sure save
Never
me a
seen
lot
a
of
more excited group of people
mistakes
before.
and time. So, all right. So, welcome everybody to Zero to Clarity. Just a quick reminder: this is a program that got started from DeOrganized, D grants, which
Yeah.
actually DeOrganized is from as well, and possible by the Clarity Working Group and the Built on Bitcoin, our friends at the Built on Bitcoin podcast. So just want to thank you. And today we're going to be talking about native asset functions. So this call in a way is kind of backwards because we go through some more in-depth concepts and then we kind of pare it back and go into some of the more basic concepts. And so anyone that is more newer to Clarity, learning about it for the first time, I think this will be really important to understand. So feel free to reach out, ask questions, review the material, and we also have a DM group on X that we kind of have for these types of things. So we're going to talk about native asset functions. Super interesting. You know, essentially the way I kind of think about them is, you know, you have the term here, primitive building blocks, and that's a really good way. So I kind of think about it as, you know, if anyone's into Legos, you've got the little blocks, but then you've got the little man who's like pre-built, right? Or the woman or whatever. Or like you've got the blocks and you've got the car with the wheels. So some things are just a little bit more fine-tuned, pre-built by Lego to make your experience easier. And so in some ways, that's what these primitive building blocks do. They're functions or expressions, methods, however, depending on how you kind of think about them, that are doing a lot of the work in just a few lines, or just one line, actually more clearly, one line, just a few words is kind of what I meant to say. So let's think about the native asset functions, or look at the native asset functions available specifically for an NFT contract, right? So if you're developing an NFT contract, there's a few things that you're going to want to know. And we'll get into some of the other things like the SIP, the traits and the compatibility requirements with like the SIP9 and all that stuff. That's later. For now, just want to go over some of these native asset functions that you're going to use when developing NFT contracts. Some of these might be familiar. You're going to see some terms here and that probably look familiar to you. And that's, on purpose because we get these terms from these functions. And so let's start with the fundamental one when creating an NFT. What you're going to find is that every NFT contract, unless it's not an NFT contract, so it's a good thing to know, will have something called the defined non-fungible token expression, right? So what does that look like? Well, what is it and what does it look like? So let's just get into it. The defined non-fungible token native asset function is used to define a new non-fungible token contract, right? So it's almost like I like to think about it as like let there be light, or let there be NFTs. It's one of those sort of statements where it declares the existence of an NFT at the top of the contract. Once you have that and you set that up, you can then reference that NFT later in the contract, give it certain properties, etc. So let's start with how we would define that more clearly. The specific function and the way it sort of looks is like this, and it's gonna look complicated for newbies at first, but we're gonna break it down for all of you. So you start with the defined non-fungible token, right, as the beginning. You then have the asset name, which is essentially what you want to name your NFT, and then the asset identifier type. Now, for people who are familiar with engineering, have done this type of stuff in the past, you may feel okay with some of these terms. Some of us may not. So I'm actually going to break it down even further. That's kind of the goal of Zero to Clarity, right? Is to make the process of learning clarity as easy as possible. So I want to be able to do this for, somebody that's in, call it 5th grade or whatever. So we go down even more and we break down each one of these and playing around with the idea of the Built on Bitcoin podcast, one of our sponsors. We're just going to mess around and do that here. So define non-fungible token, right? So you keep that. That's basically never going to change. So every single contract that is an NFT, you're going to find this, and you're going to see these 4 words, and then you're going to actually name your NFT. So if you look at, for example, the Megapont contract, you're going to see the word Megapont. If you look at the Leo NFT contract, you're going to see the word Leo. In this case, we're going to have BotPod, right? And the asset identifier type, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is basically how are you keeping track of this NFT? And there are a few sort of rules that you want to go by, but the way I want to think about it is like, well, how do I keep track of something, right? So if I have NFTs, let's say I have children, right? And each one of my children is an NFT. Well, I might track them by their name or by an ID, right? If I have like child 1, child 2, child 3. So just think of it that way as sort of ways of how do you keep track of it. But a lot of times what you'll find is that using an integer to keep track is much easier and more common than anything else. Because if you have a text, it's going to be way harder to keep track of 10,000 NFTs with 10,000 different sort of string or text type accountability
just
types,
a reminder,
right, or identifier
we are
types.
running an episode
So
of Find
we actually go through, and I want to share what
when
are the different
Xenitron makes
identifier types that
appearance
exist
in his
that you
group,
could, if you wanted to, replace with the UINT,
about
right? And we talked about the
9:30,
UINT
so those
last
that wanna
time. It's
participate,
basically a
get ready.
positive number.
And,
It's got some constraints, but
having
there's
that
really
live
not,
going
you
on
don't really
at
need to know
9:30.
much
We have
except
a
that
hard
we just
stop
need
at
this to be a
9:30,
positive
so
number.
at 20 minutes.
And so if we do look at the
quickly,
options, we
get it
can
going
potentially make it a
quickly.
string if we really want
Stop
to.
at 9:30.
And then the other thing is a principle.
Join.
So I've mentioned this in, if you've taken this class before, principle is just another word for saying stacks address. So we can technically, again, track an NFT if we wanted to by stacks address. Again, it's not recommended. What is recommended and what you'll see in all common NFT contracts is tracking it by the UINT, which makes a ton of sense. And then we can be a lot more flexible that way, make calls, say, okay, I'm looking for NFT with the ID 21 or NFT with the ID 1000, right? So if you have a 10,000 collection, you can specify the NFT you're looking for based on that integer. And so over the next couple of classes, we're going to go into some of the other things like burn, right? You've probably heard of that one, function to burn. And I'll just quickly touch on that one because I have it ready. Again, it's the same thing as having, for example, the defined non-fungible token, but you actually have NFT burn instead. And then you put the name just like you did before, except this time we're not looking for the type. We're actually looking for which specific NFT am I going to be burning, right? So now you're putting in the U1 or the U2 or the 10,000 if it's the 10,000th NFT, that you want to burn. And then the last thing is the sender, right? So who is burning this? And it just wants to make sure that the person, ideally, you want to define it in a way that the person that's burning the NFT is the person that actually owns the NFT. You certainly don't want to be burning an NFT that you don't have any right to burning, right? So this is just a quick sort of walkthrough. And the last thing we'll do is I'll just mess around. I did want to use the terminal a little bit more this time around. So we'll just define an NFT. Just want to show you what this looks like in a real dynamic, in a real scenario where you're kind of working with this. And so we've got, is it showing? Are you guys able to see?
Yeah, we can see your terminal.
Okay. So yeah, I just kind of messed around with this and it's kind of funny. I hope Jake Blockchain doesn't mind, especially because we're live. He knows I'm doing something. We just never clarified what. But I said, wouldn't it be interesting if we can have an NFT where someone can buy the NFT and then that would allow them to have like a one host read ad on the Bitcoin podcast, right? So you pay for the NFT and then that gets you one slot sort of in his podcast and he can talk about your project. I just thought that'd be fun. And so this way we support Bob, we support Stacks, we support Bitcoin, we support indie builders, support decentralization like my co-pilot's telling me. So let's just go ahead and define our non-fungible token. So here I go. I'm just typing in exactly what I showed you. Non-fungible token, which is great because if you've downloaded Clarity and Clarinet and everything, it's going to tell you how to do this so that you don't actually even have to look at my slides. And so we can go ahead and go BobPod, right? So here's the name. So we're going to go and call it BobPod. And then again, how are we going to actually identify this? And we're just going to go and type in uint. And if you see, we did this right. There's no error. And then the last thing I'll do is just show you the burn function, right, that we just did. So again, if I want to burn or just give you an example of burning something, I could do NFT burn, again, reference the same thing. And now here, instead of the asset identifier type, we're actually going to identify a specific NFT we're burning. For example, it could be, like I said, U100, which could be item 100. And then the sender, one easy way to find a sender, for example, is a TX sender, which basically means the person that's sending the contract is going to automatically be their Stacks address is going to be automatically put in here, so you don't have to hard code that. So in this scenario, this is burning the 100th NFT, and the person that's burning it is the person that's calling this contract. And so, yeah, and that's really it. So these are just fundamental building blocks of writing an NFT contract. We're going to continue going through these types of things. The idea is to make it as simple as possible for newbies to come in and start building these types of contracts and not feel intimidated. That's really why we started Zero to Clarity. So just want to thank you for joining. We'll keep kind of moving forward with these little mini classes, and hopefully somebody can learn something. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys. That was great. That was great. We're gonna cut out because we got Xenitron in his original form to come and play Fine to Earn with us, but this was awesome and happy to cover it again. Really cool stuff.
Great. Well, please wear that skull mask you wear. I love that, man. All right. Thank you.
Oh, that was definitely interesting. It was a different format than what we normally do. I do have Xenitron in the house, waiting in the wings. We will be getting that set up momentarily. And for those that of you have been waiting, it's time to enter the game room. And the game master is with us. Hi, Captain. How are you today?
GM, you are the captain of the ship. I am just John Sliver, and you are the Captain Flint.
Well,
GM, everyone.
Aren't you Captain Silver?
No, there was like Captain Flint. John Silver is just a cook. I am cooking the games.
All right, you're the cook, I'm the captain.
Yeah,
so we'll,
exactly.
But I thank you for making it on today. I know you have a tight schedule, but we're really excited to play this. Again, this game is brought to you by Hermetica. This round of Fine Turn is brought to you by Hermetica. If you're into Bitcoin and you're looking to earn some crazy yields, you have to check out Hermetica. They've got USDH. It's a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin, dollar stablecoin. That's not just stable, but earns up to 25% yield. Today's yield is 20% this morning. Head on over to hermetica.fi, stake your USDH, and start earning immediately. It's that easy. Go check it out now at hermetica.fi. And I want to know, so Hermetica is asking, you guys actually should all head over to the Discord anyway, but they want so these games today are for $10 worth of USDH or 10 USDH tokens on stacks, and they are distributed by Hermetica. So in order to claim your prize, you have to head over to the Hermetica Discord and join their Discord to claim and put in a ticket to receive your prize once we confirm the winner. So we'll confirm the winner. We'll talk to you in DMs. You got to DM us on X. And eventually we will start incorporating that you have to share out the stream in order to win as well. But we're not going to put that as a requirement today. So we have the game is ready, correct? I think you already sent me the image. I'm going to get that up on my screen.
Yeah, our ship is going to Faroe Islands.
The Faroe Islands.
Are you ready?
That's a strategic location.
Strategic, yeah.
All right. So I just got to share the image. GP, are you going to share your screen and play?
Yeah, I'll play. For sure.
All right. So here's the image people are looking for. I'm just getting the stream up so I can share it to make sure everyone has access to it, to all the stuff here. And I need to get into the live chat. Why don't I have... Oh, I'm not in the stream, that's why. Right. So if you guys are tuned in and you're ready to play, let us know in the comments. And I'm about to drop the coordinates and the link. Wenyu's in the house and ready to. Wenyu, by the way, was really close to being our winner yesterday. He was like about a minute or so behind.
That's true.
All right, let's go. Where did I? Oh, that's what I want. I gotta get our timer. You guys have 10 minutes, and I'm sharing the coordinates now.
Yeah,
Starting coordinates.
Share the link.
And I will share the link as well.
Yeah, that's a interesting place. You start and you see the house in like weird geometric formation.
Did you want to show the original image one more time before we get started?
The image should be. Oh, I'm sorry. You shared your screen. So yeah, let me.
My bad.
Yeah, and I posted this image on Skullcoin account.
So the image is on the Skullcoin account. So you can refer to the Skullcoin account on X if you need it. And I'll switch back and forth between GP's map and the image.
So for the new audience, maybe seeing this for the first time, Peace, what are we looking at?
So this image is an image located near the starting coordinates. We have dropped the starting coordinates in the live chat. There's also a link to the starting coordinates in the live chat. And that is, you might see it twice on there because we have to do it separately in X. So if you're on X, you get the that link will work. And if you're in any other medium, you have access to the links in the live chat on whatever stream you're watching on and participating in. And so you go to Google Maps. I'm going to switch back to GP's image here. You go to Google Maps and you put in your starting coordinates and it'll bring you to actually GP. You want to walk through that real quick? Just exit out of this and kind of show them?
Yeah, just play and people will connect and understand how to do it. I believe somebody will find it soon, since we started like a couple minutes ago already.
So you start here, you put in the coordinates. We have started. We're about 2 minutes in. There's 8 minutes left. And if we don't have a winner by the end of this round, the $10 will go into tomorrow's prize pool. So it'll be a $20 prize pool for tomorrow's game. So you start with you put in the starting coordinates, then you go to Street View. And you can open up the map in split screen with using that bottom left. And then you just walk around the street view using the bottom map, and then the top map you can pan around and look to find the location. And real quick, I'm just going to switch back. This is the location we're looking for near the starting coordinates. So nobody famous finds this to be a little bit creepy. Whoops, didn't mean to shut that off. Wanted to turn on GPs. Yeah, and we're not looking for anyone's specific house or anything like that. You do need a starting location.
I thought we were.
Well, no one. I mean, it actually might be Xenitron's, one of Xenitron's many properties in the Faroe Islands.
Mm-hmm. Is it the Faroe Islands or the Faroe Islands?
I think it's the Faroe.
Could
be Faroe. I don't know. They look pretty.
I think the Caribbean is the Faroe Islands.
Which part?
They argue over that every year. Probably Barbados.
So, Michael, while GP's looking, while GP's searching, what did you think about the clarity call? It was interesting. It was clear. You could hear everything they were doing. We could see everything they were doing. I think it was short enough to be to keep everybody's attention without being too much. And they moved really quickly through everything. So I thought it was really, I thought it was great. What was your opinion on that?
Yeah, no, I like it. I learned a lot more than what I knew before, just looking at how Gary explained how the contract works. Clarity is interesting because usually when you're programming, you're not programming money. Does that make sense? You're like, yeah. X is equal to this, Y is equal to this, whatever. But I didn't appreciate this shift in thinking when it comes to having a single line represent an actual action in finance. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And so I don't have a whole lot of experience with coding. And when Gary first launched his Zero to Clarity classes, I participated and watched in like the first 4 or 5 of them, as much as I could anyway. And it was, I learned a lot about how that all works. It's my first real exposure to any, short of playing around with HTML on my website. It's the first anything coding I've done. So I can't speak to how different it is.
So the way that he explained it in terms of, we have a term that represents a verb. That's the way I look at it. Paul taught me that most code is a combination of nouns, verbs, and adverbs. Right? So an adverb changes a verb kind of thing.
Yep.
The scary swing man. I don't know. So the first part of like define NFT, right? So the idea is like, okay, so we have a verb here, right? The act of creation, let there be NFT, right? And then you have, in addition to nouns, verbs, and adverbs, you also have this idea of a principle. And the principle is the owner, is the wallet. So by combining verbs with assets and owners, if that makes sense. So in any transaction, what do you need? You need an owner, you need an asset, and then you need to know what you're doing with that. Create, burn, what have you, send. So after seeing Gary talk about it, I'm like, oh, okay. We have a verb like create, read, update, delete. Okay, you ever heard that? Create, read, update, delete. That's called CRUD. They say a lot of applications are CRUD. So, okay, so at any given time, I want to create, find out about or read, update or delete something. Okay, well, what am I going to delete? I'm going to delete an asset. And I'm going to have this operation connected to some sort of owner because you have to make sure.
Bitcoin 100K again. Yeah.
What's that?
Bitcoin 100.
Oh, it hit back over.
thousand. Yeah, it's
Let's
again skyrocketing. Let's go. Bitcoin.
Let's go. I am looking at it.
What are you talking about Bitcoin for?
XRP still under $3. Not surprised. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the XRP,
but it's fun.
I hope everyone makes $1 million, and then we can all be poor but have $1 million because we all have $1 million. So
yeah, I don't want $1 million if all of you have it. You know what I mean?
Well, how many dollars do you want if we all have $1 million?
I'm only interested in wealth that surpasses all of the people I know. You know?
So, no, I just want to say, Nobody Famous is pretty sure she found the spot watching GP and he missed it. And now she's saying she's just too detail oriented and finding things comes easy. So she could clean up, actually. She should definitely come tune in at 10 a.m. on Thursday.
It's funny.
5 episodes.
About Triple C, she said she was able to find the location.
Yes, that's Triple C is Nobody Famous, and I forget what the C's stand for, and I should know because it's a care package.
I think it's the Chinese Communist Coalition, right?
No, it's different.
Oh no, my mistake.
Yeah, it's definitely not that.
You never know.
I don't know what she supports politically. I'm not even concerned about that.
Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with the CCP. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind fascism.
Well, at least it's with good food. You know, maybe fascism.
Are they mutually inclusive?
Here. So strange buildings here on this island.
All right. I actually have a. I can. We're down to 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Nobody's found it yet.
Captain Flint, it's up to you. We can like make jackpot. Nobody finds the straight
amazing.
week, and we have like $100 per game.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna give them another 2 minutes.
Okay.
If you're good with that, and then we'll at 2 minutes. But you guys have 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes,
Let's
the
go.
prize goes into tomorrow's pool. Again, this is brought to us by Hermetica, and if you guys haven't used Hermetica, it's really an awesome way to.
Peace, how does Hermetica work if I'm a noob?
So Hermetica is a dollar stablecoin that is backed by Bitcoin. They hold Bitcoin and then a short futures hedge on Bitcoin to balance the assets, and then they use that to back a stable coin that's denominated in US dollar. It holds its dollar 100%. It doesn't fluctuate on price at all. The only thing that will fluctuate is the yield you earn on those dollars when you stake them at Hermetica. And that's right. You're like, oh my God, there's a dollar stable coin that has yield, so you can actually preserve your assets in dollars and earn really great yield at the same time on Hermetica.
When I think of stable coins, I think of like Bitfinex USDT. Is that similar product, USDH, but with yield? You know?
It is similar, although USDT is not backed by Bitcoin. It's backed by, well, no one's really entirely sure.
It's backed by
coordinates by
audit, I
Winnie,
believe.
but it's starting coordinates.
Are those correct?
No, it's starting coordinates, Winnie. We need like location, not the start.
Oh, that's the starting coordinates. All right, 10 seconds.
Winnie, come on, 10 seconds. Your last chance.
Come on, Vanna.
Hey, I'm working here.
Oh, I'm working here.
GPSC, you choose the wrong side of the river. Those are like on the
This side of the
You
river.
checked the wrong side of the river.
Dang,
All
dude.
right.
yeah. It was
We have-
somewhere here. Yeah.
We have no winner. We're gonna bring this back to tomorrow, and tomorrow you guys will have a
Tomorrow
chance to
never
earn 20 USDH. So the prize is doubled.
Yeah, you can drop the answer to the chat, and
Yep.
there will be 20 bucks.
So here's the correct coordinates. It wasn't that far. I'm gonna drop it in the live chat. Here's the correct coordinates.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thank you.
Winnie, we feel it, but unfortunately, rules are the rules.
Can you drop that in the private chat
Yeah, we dropped.
so I can grab it? There we go.
Yeah, actually, you can show us. You can
Yeah,
show
show
us.
us the location. Where is the Hermetica houses?
So tomorrow's prize is now doubled.
Double prize.
wow.
Jackpot.
GP, did you get the location?
Did I? Is that the starting coordinates? Yeah, let's put the starting coordinates in there. Hold on. Let me grab these winning coordinates now. Are those the same coordinates in the live chat?
Yes, it's the
Or
one
not?
that's sharing on the screen right now.
Six dot 6 longitude.
I can't. Why is it not? Having trouble copy and pasting right now.
Hold on, let me see if I can.
GPSC, I wonder if you change the satellite view, if it'll be easier for you to look at things overhead.
Sometimes not. Satellite view give a hints, but sometimes it's not.
Okay, I'm just gonna actually.
Yeah, I'm having trouble pasting that right now.
That's all right. I'll do it real quick here.
Okay, here it is. We found it.
Oh, is that it right there? That's it.
Yeah.
So there it is. You guys all have it. It's a little bit tricky, and it's hard to find.
Michael, let's play next time, Michael. If
Yes,
you play
yes.
and comment, it will be amazing show.
Yeah. We're gonna do that.
Because you will
Tomorrow?
feel it like real world, and you can, with your comments, it will be like
I like it.
something.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
Brilliant.
it. We'll do it again tomorrow. I don't think we have a guest, so we might even be able to have a little bit. I don't have anything immediately afterwards, so it's a little bit. It's less tricky. I do gotta end the stream, but thank you all so much for participating
Thank
today. You guys definitely need to go try Skullcoin at skullco.in. The
See you
actual
tomorrow.
game.
See you tomorrow.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, GP. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone, for tuning in. Much love to Gary and the Clarity Working Group guys for letting us stream. That was really interesting too. It really helps us expose our audience to more stuff. I am PeaceLoveMusic. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on BitcoinLive Decentralized, broadcasting every day, bringing you the latest news and information about stacks and the broader Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. And y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.